Picture this, a river, absolutely shimmering with thousands of tiny candlelit boats. Each one is floating away someone's worries and carrying a wish for the future. It's a beautiful scene, right? This is Loy Krathong, one of Thailand's most breathtaking festivals. But what if I told you that just beneath this serene surface, a modern conflict is brewing, a claim that's trying to rewrite the very history of this tradition? Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll get a real feel for the festival itself, what it's all about. Then, we're going to dive deep into that controversial claim that links it to Angkor Wat. After that, we'll put the evidence side by side, plant versus water. We'll also look at the politics behind all this, and finally, we'll talk about the very real consequences of when a piece of culture gets turned into a weapon. All right, first things first. Before we can even touch the controversy, we need to be on the same page about what Loy Krathong actually is. We're talking about its core identity, based on centuries of tradition right there in Thailand. The name itself actually tells you a lot. Loy literally means to float, and a krathong is that little decorative boat, usually made from banana leaves and flowers. So the name isn't symbolic, it's descriptive. The central act of a festival is right there in the title. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the festival isn't just about one thing. It's this incredible mix of ancient animist beliefs, like thanking the water goddess, Prame Kongka, and core Buddhist ideas about renewal, letting go, and starting fresh. But you see the common thread, right? It all comes back to one central element, water. Okay, so that's the tradition as we know it, but lately a completely different origin story has started making the rounds. And this one moves the festival's roots from the rivers of Thailand all the way to the ancient stone temples of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So, the argument being made is that this iconic Thai festival isn't actually Thai in origin at all. The claim is that it's a direct descendant of a much, much older Hindu ritual from the Khmer Empire. It's a bold move, trying to reframe a tradition that's so deeply tied to Thai Buddhism as having ancient Hindu roots. And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If you're going to make a claim that big, you need some solid proof to back it up. So to really understand what's going on, we have to look at the specific evidence they're using, the carvings themselves. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. It's time to put these two traditions head-to-head and really analyze the evidence. What's depicted at Angkor Wat versus what happens during Loy Krathong. So the carvings that are cited as proof are at Angkor Wat, which you have to remember was originally built as a Hindu temple for the god Vishnu. And what these carvings actually show is a ritual called Tulsi worship. This is a land-based ceremony. It's all about honoring a sacred plant, the holy basil, which is seen as the goddess Lakshmi on earth. It has absolutely nothing to do with rivers, floating, or water. Now, on the flip side, when you look at the documented history of Loy Krathong, it's a completely different story. The paper trail starts way later, in the 13th century Sukhothai Kingdom in Thailand. The chronicles talk about a woman named Nang Napamas, who made the very first krathong. From there, the festival has grown and changed over 700 years, but always within that distinctly Thai Buddhist culture. And when you lay it all out like this, the disconnect is just massive. It's crystal clear. The religion, totally different. The central action, floating on water versus static worship on land. The focus of reverence, a water goddess versus a plant goddess. Even the core purpose is completely different. According to historians, these are two separate traditions that are just incompatible. So if the historical evidence and the religious context just don't line up, you have to wonder, why make this claim at all? Well, the answer seems to have a lot more to do with modern politics than it does with ancient history. Yeah, this isn't some random argument that popped up on social media. It actually fits into a much bigger pattern of historical revisionism. It's a classic example of using culture to build what political scientists call soft power. That means trying to influence other countries through cultural appeal rather than force. The strategy is to position your nation as the original source of culture in the region. This boosts national pride, it helps with tourism, and it unites people at home under a single nationalistic identity. But here's the thing, when you start redefining and claiming other people's cultural heritage, it's not a harmless game. It has very real and often very damaging consequences that can be felt across the entire region. And make no mistake, this is a big deal. It actively twists historical facts and fuels online anger between ordinary citizens. It chips away at the trust that's so crucial for regional groups like ASEAN to function. It basically takes something that should be celebrated and turns it into a tool for division. Look, let's be super clear here. Cultures have always borrowed from each other. They've influenced each other since the beginning of time. That's a beautiful thing. But this is something else entirely. This is an attempt to claim ownership, to erase the unique history of another nation's tradition, and that is a fundamental blow to mutual respect. So, this really leaves us with one last big thought. What's the real foundation of cultural pride? Is it about rewriting the past to score political points? Or is it about honestly celebrating the authentic, unique traditions that make our world so incredibly rich and diverse? The evidence here seems pretty clear. True heritage brings people together, but fabrication only tears them apart.